pharmacies. Let's talk about gray and black market because this is with semaglutide and tirzepatide that has exploded so much. And I kind of want you to talk on that and how do we better communicate to the public and policymakers the critical role compounding pharmacies play during shortages because if we don't step in, then the gray and black market steps in.
Yep.
Open arms.
Yeah, and that has the thinking of some patients has been affected by the FDA's resolution of the tirzepatide shortage, and I know you've seen and we've seen an uptick in traffic and conversation in some of these Reddit chat rooms and on TikTok where people are buying offshore these substances that purport to be tirzepatide or semaglutide and mixing it with distilled water and injecting themselves with it. That's crazy.
Yep.
But people are doing it. And so we are concerned about the black market. You have heard already in my syntax that I refer to state licensed pharmacies. All pharmacies in America have to be licensed in the state where the pharmacy is located. And so if it is not a state licensed pharmacy, it isn't a pharmacy at all. So I want to take care not to call these entities that are purporting to be pharmacies because they're not. They are illegal operations, they're illicit operations, but you can go online and purchase what purports to be semaglutide or tirzepatide injection without a prescription. And that is dangerous. I have seen estimates that as high as 85 or 90% of online quote pharmacies aren't pharmacies at all, but are bogus. And so patients need to take care about where they are acquiring their their compounded GLP-1 drugs. So some things that a patient can do to make sure that the pharmacy is a legitimate pharmacy. One of the first things they can do is look it up on the State Board of Pharmacy website. If a pharmacy has to be licensed in the state where it is located and any state to which it ships compounded medications. So the patient can look up the pharmacy name, and if it's there, they know that it is licensed. If it's not there, that ought to raise a red flag. It could mean that that pharmacy is not licensed in that state. It could mean that it's not a pharmacy at all. Patients should also have conversations with their prescribers. I suspect that the prescribers who send scripts to Town and Country for compounded GLP-1s know your pharmacy well. I would imagine that some of them have even been in the pharmacy and taken a tour. A patient can ask a prescriber about a pharmacy and can tell by the prescriber's familiarity with the pharmacy whether this is legit. So that's another way that patients can have greater confidence that the pharmacy is legit. They can also talk to the pharmacist, and I know for a fact that if a patient walked in and wanted to talk to your pharmacist about where you acquire your active pharmaceutical ingredient for your GLP-1 drugs, or do you do third-party testing, those are conversations that your pharmacist would be perfectly open to with those patients. So those are some ways that patients can have greater confidence that it is a legitimate state licensed pharmacy. APC has created on our website a tool to help patients do that. And I'm going to give a URL here, so I'll try to say it slowly. It is at the number 4, pc.org. So a4pc.org/is it legit? And if your patients will go there, it is a shortcut to the licensee lookup function on all of the State Board of Pharmacy websites. So it would be very easy for a patient to look up there whether the entity that is preparing their GLP-1 or other compounded drug is legitimate or not. Again, ultimately, patients need to take care. They need to make sure they're using a state licensed pharmacy.